Today we're going to learn about arithmetic sequences. Now, you see the word arithmetic in there, so there's some arithmetic, some math involved. And a sequence is like a pattern. So if you will look at this pattern, when n is 1, that's like your first term. Okay, the number of stars. There's one star. How many sides does it have? So the number of stars is your input, like your x, and the number of sides is like your y. Well, if we count this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, there are 10 sides on a star. Therefore, if I have 2 stars, I have 20 sides. 3 stars is 30. Do you see a pattern here? This is a pattern. Let's graph it. 0 stars, of course, has 0 sides. 1 is 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 30. Etc. It's linear, isn't it? This makes a straight line. It's linear because it has the same rate of change. So this would be slope, right? But in arithmetic sequence, the difference is called the common difference, but we know it's the same thing as the slope. So each term is found by adding 10 to the previous term. So I already answered this, but the common difference reminds you of slope, and the graph and relationship appear to be linear because they are. So an arithmetic sequence is just a linear equation where the common difference is the slope. Now, if you look here, what was the x? It was the term number. In arithmetic sequences, the x is always the term number. So the first term, and then this is always your x. Let me show you in a minute. So if we're going to write an equation, here's your form. A sub n just means the nth term. So your n there is your term number. So it's kind of like f of x in a way. So I'm going to say that this is kind of like f of x, where this is your x. That's your term number. So you start with the first term, a sub n, and then you take n minus 1 times the difference, because you need to times the slope. So it's like y equals mx plus b, except since this isn't exactly the y-intercept, it's your first term instead of your 0 term. That's why we have to do the n minus 1. So if you want to find a sub 10, first, here's your first term, second term, third term, fourth term, etc. So let's first write an equation. So let's follow this pattern. A sub n equals, what's a sub 1? 6 plus, what are we set? So n, let's go ahead and write the first one, n minus 1 times the difference. What is the difference? What am I adding every time? 4. Now, this looks a little weird to write the 4 afterwards. I wish I'd changed this to write the 4 in front, because we usually put the d in front, the slope in front. It makes more sense that way. Okay, so then we find the nth term, the 10th term. So a sub 10 equals 6 plus 4 times, and then we do 10 minus 1. We do the term before. So a sub 10 equals 6 plus 36, which is 42. Now, that is like saying that the point 1042 is on this line. It's one of our points because 10's like the x. The output is the y. Let's try another one. We have a sub n equals, well, first, here we go. Here's our terms. And we need to find the common difference. We're subtracting, aren't we? We're getting smaller. Are we subtracting 5 each time? So our common difference is negative 5. So let's start with the first term, 43, minus 5, because our common difference is negative 5, n minus 1. So then if I want to find a sub 10, I kind of wrote in my space here. If I want to find a sub 10, 43 minus 5 times 9, because I do the term before, 10 minus 1. 43 minus 45 is negative 2. I realize my A looks a little bit like a 9, but it's an A. So this is the point 10, negative 2, isn't it? In an auditorium, the first row of seats has 30 seats. All right, here's the first row, 30 seats. Each row behind the first row has 4 more seats than the row in front of it. So I don't really have to make my table. I could if I wanted to. Let's see, each row has 4 more. So what is our common difference? It's 4. We're adding, so A sub n equals, what's my first term? 30 plus, I'm adding 4 each time, and n minus 1. So A sub 25 is 30 plus 4 times 24. And I get, I don't really want to mess this up, although I'm pretty sure it's 96 plus 30 is 126 in the 25th row. So there's the basics of arithmetic sequences. They're linear. The common difference is the slope. The little sub n here, that's how you say that, because it's a subscript, sub n. That's your term number, which is also your x.